Introduction. Outsmart, outthink, outwin. Hey, have you ever wondered why some people always seem 2 steps ahead, while others stay stuck, chasing their tails? It's not luck. It's not magic. It's strategic thinking. And it changes everything. In life, business, and even your personal relationships. The people who win aren't always the strongest, fastest, or most talented. They are the ones who think differently. They see patterns others miss. They predict problems before they explode. They turn obstacles into opportunities. They play the long game when everyone else is distracted by short-term wins. This book is your blueprint to becoming one of those people. Why is this important for your mind and success? Because your mind is your greatest weapon, and sadly, most people never learn how to sharpen it. Without strategic thinking, you fall into the same traps, reacting emotionally, making impulsive decisions, missing hidden opportunities, and staying stuck in survival mode. But when you master the art of strategic thinking, life feels different. You walk into situations with confidence. You make smarter moves under pressure. You see solutions before others even recognize the problem. You don't just survive, you win. This book will teach you how to think multiple steps ahead, like chess. Masters and business legends. Stay calm, calculated, and focused, especially when life gets messy. Outsmart your competition with bold, unconventional strategies. Turn challenges into powerful tools for success. Build mental clarity and long-term vision that sets you apart. This isn't theory. It's practical, real-world tools you can apply immediately to level up your career, business, relationships, and your mindset. If you're tired of feeling stuck, if you want to outthink any challenge and finally win big, keep reading. This book will change how you approach every decision for the rest of your life. And before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to this journey, whether that's following me on social media, joining the email list, or simply promising yourself you're committed to mastering strategic thinking from this day forward. Get ready. It's time to outsmart the game and win. Chapter 1. Think beyond the obvious. Have you ever noticed how most people only react to what's right in front of them? They solve surface-level problems, chase short-term goals, and stay stuck in a loop of doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. That's because they only see the obvious. But the obvious is where the average thinkers live. To become a great strategic thinker, you must train your mind to look beyond what's obvious and tap into a deeper level of awareness. Strategic thinkers operate differently. They see the hidden connections others miss. They notice opportunities buried under problems. They ask better questions, like, what's happening beneath the surface? What's the long-term impact of this decision? What are the unintended consequences? The truth is, success isn't just about working hard. It's about seeing the full picture. Most people focus only on the next step, but great thinkers zoom out. They view life, business, and challenges like a chessboard, where every move impacts the entire game. They anticipate, prepare, and position themselves for long-term advantage. Why do most people struggle to think beyond the obvious? It's simple. We live in a world addicted to speed. Social media, instant gratification, quick fixes at all conditions. Your brain to seek fast answers, and surface-level thinking. But strategic thinking requires patience, curiosity, and depth. It requires slowing down to question assumptions and explore possibilities others overlook. For example, imagine 2 people facing the same challenge, a career setback. The average thinker reacts emotionally, feels defeated, and either gives up or jumps into another quick decision without reflection. But the strategic thinker pauses. They ask, what does this challenge reveal? What skills can I build now? How can I turn this setback into long-term leverage? One stays stuck. The other evolves and eventually outpaces the competition. Thinking beyond the obvious also means embracing complexity. Most problems in life aren't black and white, they have layers. Strategic thinkers aren't afraid to sit with uncertainty. Dig deeper and find patterns hidden beneath chaos. Here's how you can train your mind to think beyond the obvious. Ask better questions. Stop accepting surface answers. Dig deeper. Always ask, what am I not seeing? Zoom out. Step back from the problem. Look at the bigger picture. How does this situation connect to your long-term goals? Challenge assumptions. Never assume things are as they appear. Great. Thinkers question their own beliefs and biases. Look for hidden opportunities. Every problem contains seeds of growth. Find them. Slow down to speed up. Don't rush decisions. Pause, reflect, strategize, then act with precision. Thinking beyond the obvious is not just a skill, it's a competitive advantage. In the chapters ahead, you'll discover how this mindset can transform your decisions, your confidence, and your results. The people who win in life aren't reacting to what everyone sees. They're creating opportunities hidden in plain sight. From today, you can be one of them. Chapter 2. Master the power of clarity. Have you ever felt stuck, overwhelmed, or lost, not because you lack ambition, but because everything feels complicated? You have too many choices, too many opinions, and too much noise. That's where most people get trapped. But here's the truth. Complexity kills progress. Clarity creates power. In the world of strategic thinking, clarity is your greatest weapon. Without clarity, you're guessing, reacting, and second-guessing every move. But when you master clarity, your decisions become faster, your actions more focused, and your confidence unshakable. Think of the most successful leaders, entrepreneurs, or problem solvers. They all share one thing: a laser-sharp understanding of what they want, why they want it, and how to get there. They don't waste energy on distractions. They don't drown in overthinking. They cut through the noise like a sharp blade, and that's what gives them the edge. Why is clarity so rare? Because most people never slow down long enough to define what they really want. They get caught chasing goals society hands them: more money, more status, more stuff, without questioning whether those goals align with their deeper vision. The result? Exhaustion, frustration, and feeling lost. Strategic thinkers operate differently. They know that before you can win, you must define the game. You must get brutally clear on your priorities, your desired outcomes, and the steps required to get there. Without clarity, your energy is scattered. You say yes to the wrong opportunities, waste time on low-value tasks, and drift off course. But with clarity, you become unstoppable. Your mind quiets, your decisions sharpen. You filter out distractions and focus only on what moves you forward. Here's how to master the power of clarity. Define success for yourself. Stop chasing other people's definition of success. Get clear on what you truly want, professionally, personally, financially. Be specific. Vagueness breeds confusion. Simplify your priorities. You can't do everything at once. Ruthlessly simplify. Focus on the few things that create the biggest impact. Eliminate the rest. Ask the right questions. Confusion often comes from poor questions. Ask, what outcome do I want? What obstacles must I prepare for? What's my next best move? Visualize the end result. Picture your success clearly, what it looks like, feels like, and what it requires. Vague visions lead to vague results. Clarity equals speed. The clearer you are, the faster you can move. Confusion slows you down. Clarity accelerates action. Remember this. Clarity isn't a one-time moment. It's a daily practice. Life changes, obstacles appear, new opportunities arise. Strategic thinkers constantly realign their focus, ensuring they stay clear, intentional, and in control. In a noisy world filled with distractions, clarity is your secret weapon. It helps you cut through the chaos, make better decisions, and move forward with confidence. Master it, and success becomes inevitable. Chapter 3. Play the long game if you want to be truly successful. Whether in business, relationships, or personal growth, you must learn to play the long game. The sad truth is, most people don't. They chase short-term rewards, quick wins, and instant gratification, only to find themselves stuck, burnt out, or falling behind in the bigger picture. But great strategic thinkers operate differently. They know that the most powerful rewards often come with patience, persistence, and a long-term vision. In today's world, where everything feels urgent, it's easy to get caught up in short-term thinking. Social media shows people celebrating overnight success stories. Companies focus on quarterly profits. Many individuals make decisions based on immediate comfort rather than future impact. But here's the reality. Short-term wins are temporary. Long-term thinking builds legacy. Playing the long game means making decisions today that may not pay off immediately, but will create massive rewards down the line. It means resisting the temptation to cut corners or seek quick fixes, and instead investing your energy into building something sustainable, whether that's your career, business, mindset, or skill set. Think about the most successful people in history: visionary leaders, entrepreneurs, elite athletes. They all understood the long game. They sacrificed comfort today for greater success tomorrow. They built systems, habits, and strategies that compound over time. They weren't chasing applause, they were building empires. Why most people fail? To play the long game because long-term thinking requires discipline. It demands patience, delayed gratification, and the ability to see beyond today's circumstances. The human brain craves quick rewards. That's why so many people give up when results aren't immediate. But the truth is, anything worth achieving takes time, wealth, health, meaningful relationships, influence. They're all the result of small, consistent actions compounded over months or years. Great strategic thinkers develop the ability to think in terms of years, not days. They view their journey as a marathon, not a sprint. They ask, how will this decision affect me 1 year from now, 5 years from now? They prioritize moves that may take longer but lead to lasting success. How to play the long game. Effectively develop a clear long-term vision. You can't play the long game if you don't know where you're headed. Define your ultimate goals. Clearly, professionally, financially, personally. Detach from immediate outcomes. Not every day will bring visible progress. That's normal. Stay committed to the process, even when results seem distant. Build systems, not just goals. Systems create momentum. Focus on consistent daily actions that align with your long-term vision, rather than obsessing over short-term results. Invest in relationships and reputation. The people who play the long game value trust, relationships, and reputation over shortcuts. Integrity compounds. Embrace patience as a skill. Patience isn't passive, it's strategic. While others rush, you position yourself for bigger, smarter moves. Playing the long game isn't always easy, but it separates those who merely survive from those who dominate their field. When you master this mindset, you stop chasing temporary wins and start building unstoppable, lasting success. Chapter 4. Anticipate before you act. Most people live in reaction mode. They respond to problems only after they explode. They wait for crises, competition, or unexpected changes before making a move. But great strategic thinkers? They operate differently. They anticipate, they predict, they prepare. That's why they always seem 2 or 3 steps ahead of everyone else. In life, business, or leadership, the ability to anticipate before you act is what separates the reactive from the remarkable. It's not about guessing. It's about developing foresight. It's seeing the patterns, reading the signs, and positioning yourself for success before the world even realizes there's a shift coming. Anticipation is the highest form of intelligence in strategic thinking. When you anticipate, you make decisions based on possibilities, not problems. You avoid being blindsided because you've already thought through scenarios, risks, and outcomes. It's like playing chess. The average player reacts to moves, but the grandmaster sees 5, 10, even 20 moves ahead. Why most people fail to anticipate the truth is, most people are so caught up in the urgency of daily life, they never pause to think ahead. They react to emails, social media, short-term tasks, and other people's demands. But strategic thinkers carve out time to think. They analyze trends, study situations, and mentally run through possible future scenarios. If you don't anticipate, you'll always play defense. You'll be reacting to competition, struggling with surprises, and constantly feeling behind. But when you master anticipation, you shift to offense. You dictate the pace, set the direction, and control the outcomes. How to master the art of anticipation. Study patterns. Success leaves clues. So do failures. Study past experiences. Observe market trends and recognize behavioral patterns. History often repeats itself. Use that to your advantage. Think in scenarios. Don't just plan for one outcome. Run through multiple possibilities. What if things go wrong? What if success comes faster than expected? What's the worst case and best case scenario? Strategic thinkers prepare for all of them. Slow down to analyze. The fast-paced world pushes you to act quickly. But true anticipation requires slowing down to assess, reflect, and forecast possible futures. Gather intelligence. The best thinkers are also great listeners and learners. They collect information, feedback, and data, which helps them predict shifts before others see them. Mentally play the chessboard. Constantly ask yourself, if I make this move, what happens next? How will others react? What's the ripple effect? Anticipating before you act doesn't mean you become overly cautious or paralyzed by possibilities. It means you become calculated, prepared, and proactive. You make smarter, more confident moves because you've already thought ahead. Imagine this. While others are stuck reacting to problems, you're already positioned for success. While competitors are scrambling to adapt, you're executing a well-planned strategy. That's the power of anticipation, and it's how great strategic thinkers win consistently. In the next chapter, we'll take this mindset further and show you how to transform life's inevitable challenges into powerful leverage for success. Chapter 5. Turn challenges into leverage. Every successful person, whether in business, life, or leadership, has one thing in common: they face challenges. But here's the difference. Average thinkers see challenges as roadblocks. Great strategic thinkers see challenges as leverage. They understand that obstacles aren't just there to slow you down. They're opportunities in disguise. It's easy to get discouraged when life throws problems your way. Financial setbacks, failures, rejection, competition, unexpected crises happen to everyone. But the most successful people don't waste energy complaining or feeling defeated. Instead, they ask a better question. How can I turn this challenge into an advantage? This is the essence of strategic thinking. It's not about avoiding difficulties. It's about flipping them to work in your favor. Imagine the strength you build when you solve problems others run from. Imagine the knowledge, resilience, and reputation you develop when you overcome obstacles with skill and patience. The greatest innovators, entrepreneurs, and leaders didn't rise to the top despite their challenges. They rose because of how they leveraged those challenges. Think of world-class athletes who use injuries to refocus their mindset. Entrepreneurs who turn market crashes into new business opportunities. Individuals who transform rejection into motivation. Why most people waste their challenges? Because they see problems emotionally, not strategically. They react with frustration, fear, or self-doubt. But challenges lose their power when viewed through the lens of logic and long-term vision. Strategic thinkers detach emotionally, analyze the obstacle, and extract the hidden opportunity. Here's how to turn any challenge into leverage. Reframe the problem. The first step is to change how you see the challenge. Instead of seeing it as something happening to you, see it as happening for you. Every setback carries lessons, skills, and growth if you look deeper. Extract the lesson. Every obstacle teaches you something about yourself, others, or your environment. Strategic thinkers mine the lesson early, applying it to future decisions. Use pressure to sharpen skills. Challenges force growth. Difficult circumstances make you stronger, smarter, and more adaptable. Use the discomfort to build new capabilities. Turn weakness into strategy. What feels like a disadvantage can often be repositioned as a strength. Lack of resources can fuel creativity. Failure can sharpen focus. Criticism can reveal blind spots. Stay calm, stay calculated. Emotional reactions drain energy. Strategic thinkers remain calm under pressure, turning chaos into a structured, calculated response. Remember this. Every challenge holds hidden leverage. The bigger the obstacle, the greater the opportunity to separate yourself from average thinkers. Most people quit when things get hard. That's your competitive edge. Where others fold, you strategize. Where others panic, you position yourself. For the long game. Life won't get easier, but your ability to use challenges as stepping stones will transform how far you go. In the next chapter, we'll explore another critical advantage: mastering emotional control to stay sharp, focused, and strategic under pressure. Chapter 6. Control your emotions. Control the game. If there's one hidden force that silently destroys even the smartest plans, it's uncontrolled emotion. You can have the best strategy, the sharpest skills, and the clearest vision, but the moment emotions take over, logic dies. Strategic thinking collapses, and impulsive decisions replace calculated moves. The harsh truth? You can't win the game if you can't control your emotions. Great strategic thinkers understand that emotional control isn't about suppressing feelings or acting like a robot. It's about mastering the ability to respond, not react. It's staying calm when others panic, clear when others get confused, and focused when chaos surrounds you. Think about any high-pressure situation, a negotiation, a business deal, an argument, or even a crisis. The person who controls their emotions controls the room. Emotional stability gives you the edge because while others act out of fear, anger, or frustration, you operate from clarity and logic. Why do emotions destroy strategic thinking? Emotions cloud judgment. When fear spikes, your brain focuses on survival, not strategy. When anger rises, your decisions become reactive, often leading to regret. Even excitement can be dangerous when it causes overconfidence or impulsive risk-taking. The world's best leaders, athletes, and decision-makers excel not because they're emotionless, but because they manage their emotional state under pressure. They train themselves to stay grounded, detached, and mentally sharp, even when the stakes are high. Here's how to master emotional control and stay strategic under pressure. Awareness is step 1. You can't control what you don't notice. Train yourself to recognize when emotions are rising tension in your body, racing thoughts, or impulsive urges. Pause before you act. Never make major decisions in emotional peaks. Strategic thinkers breathe, pause, and create space between the trigger and their response. Separate emotion from action. Feel your emotions, don't suppress them. But your actions should always be guided by logic, long-term vision, and calculated thinking. Reframe the situation. Often, emotions spike because of how we interpret events. Shift your perspective. Ask, what's the bigger picture? How can I use this moment to my advantage? Practice under pressure. The more you train your mind in stressful situations through visualization, simulations, or real-world challenges, the better you get at emotional control. Emotional control is a competitive advantage most people make. Impulsive decisions sabotage opportunities or lose credibility because they can't master their emotions. But when you stay calm under pressure, you immediately stand out. People trust calm energy. They follow leaders who stay composed. You become the person who others look to when things fall apart. Remember, emotions are powerful, but they should never be in control. You control the game when you control your mind. In the next chapter, we'll sharpen your strategic edge even further by teaching you how to outthink the competition, no matter how talented or resourceful they are. Chapter 7. Outsmart the competition in every area of life business. Career, relationships, or personal growth, there is competition. Whether you realize it or not, you're constantly surrounded by people chasing the same opportunities, clients, recognition, or success that you want. But here's the truth. Winning isn't always about working harder. It's about thinking smarter. The person who outthinks the competition almost always outperforms them. Many people believe the only way to win is through sheer effort, longer hours, more hustle, or constant grinding. But great strategic thinkers know a secret. Brute force has limits, but smart thinking has no ceiling. When you learn to outsmart your competition, you stop playing by their rules. You redefine the game entirely. History proves this over and over. It's not always the biggest, fastest, or strongest who win. It's those who use creativity, leverage, and unconventional strategies to get ahead. Think of legendary entrepreneurs who disrupt industries. Athletes who use tactics to overcome physical disadvantages. Leaders who solve problems with sharp thinking, not more effort. The danger of competing on the same level. Most people compete the obvious way, trying to be better, faster, cheaper, or more available. But competing on the same level as everyone else leads to burnout and frustration. Instead, great strategic thinkers look for ways to change the rules or shift the battleground entirely. For example, if your competitors focus on price, you focus on value. If they fight for attention, you focus on positioning. If they play by tradition, you bring innovation. Outsmarting isn't about cheating, it's about outthinking the system. How to outsmart the competition with strategic thinking. Study your competition ruthlessly. Knowledge is power. Understand your competitors' strengths, weaknesses, and blind spots. Most people guess. Great thinkers gather intelligence. Identify the gaps. Look for what your competitors miss: underserved markets, unmet needs, emotional triggers, or customer frustrations. Gaps create opportunity. Leverage your unique strengths. You don't have to be the biggest player. Your unique perspective, skills, or background can be turned into an advantage the competition can't replicate. Innovate, don't imitate. Copying others keeps you behind. Strategic thinkers look for unconventional solutions, new approaches, and creative angles others overlook. Play the psychological game. Outsmarting isn't just about tactics. It's about confidence, perception, and influence. Stay calm under pressure, project certainty, and make your competition second-guess themselves. Control the environment. Whenever possible, set the terms, timing, and terrain of competition. When you control the environment, you control the chi. Outcome. Thinking smarter gives you the edge. Outsmarting the competition isn't about arrogance, it's about strategy. It's realizing that success doesn't always belong to the strongest, but to the most prepared, the most observant, and the most adaptable. The real game is won in the mind by those who outthink. outposition, and outmaneuver everyone else. In the next chapter, we'll unlock the principle that multiplies results even faster. How simplifying your strategy can actually accelerate your success. Chapter 8. Simplify to multiply. One of the most dangerous myths in life, business, and success is the belief that complexity equals intelligence. People assume the more complicated their plans, processes, or goals are, the more likely they are to succeed. But the opposite is true. Complexity kills progress. Simplicity multiplies results. Great strategic thinkers know that simplicity is a weapon. When you simplify your approach, your energy increases, your focus sharpens, and your results accelerate. Complexity creates confusion. It slows you down, leads to overthinking, and often causes people to quit halfway through their goals. Look at the most successful companies, leaders, or individuals. They simplify everything. Their messaging is clear, their systems are lean, and their priorities are focused. They know that too many moving parts lead to breakdowns. Simplicity removes friction, allowing ideas, plans, and execution to flow. Why complexity slows you down. Human brain naturally overcomplicates things. We tend to add more steps, chase more options, and create elaborate systems. We believe the more complicated something is, the more valuable it must be. But complexity leads to mental fatigue, decision paralysis, and wasted time. Strategic thinkers resist that trap. They understand that simplicity is clarity, and clarity drives action. You don't need 100 strategies. You need 1 or 2 powerful ones executed with precision. You don't need dozens of daily tasks. You need the few that truly move the needle. Complexity often becomes an excuse to delay action. People hide behind planning, researching, or perfecting their systems, but never actually execute. Simplicity eliminates the hiding places. It forces action. How to simplify and multiply your success. Identify the core goal. Strip away distractions and secondary objectives. Get clear on your one main goal. Everything else is noise. Eliminate the non-essentials. Audit your tasks, processes, and commitments. Ask what activities produce the highest return. Cut the rest. Simplify your strategies. Don't build complex, overwhelming plans. Design simple, actionable steps that can be executed daily or weekly. Communicate simply, whether with your team, clients, or yourself. Clarity in communication reduces errors and aligns everyone to the mission. Automate or delegate complexity. If something truly must be complex, automate it or give it to someone else. Keep your personal focus simple and strategic. Simplicity creates speed. The clearer and leaner your approach, the faster you execute. Momentum builds quickly when you remove unnecessary friction. The power of simplicity and strategic thinking. Great thinkers simplify their decision-making process. They look at a situation and strip it down to the essential facts. They avoid overanalyzing, overplanning, or overcomplicating. Instead, they focus on the clearest path to success and execute with confidence. The truth is, complexity often impresses people in the short term, but simplicity wins in the long term. Simple systems, simple habits, and simple goals compound over time to produce extraordinary results. In the next chapter, we'll dive into one of the most crucial aspects of strategic thinking: how to make clear, bold decisions under pressure. Chapter 9. Decision-making under pressure. True test of a strategic thinker isn't how they perform when everything is calm. It's how they think and act under pressure. High-stakes moments define careers, businesses, and lives. In those moments, most people freeze, panic, or make impulsive, emotional decisions they later regret. But great thinkers? They stay composed, clear, and decisive when it matters most. The ability to make bold, smart decisions under pressure separates leaders from the crowd. It's not enough to be a good decision maker when you have unlimited time. Real life doesn't always give you that luxury. The world throws curveballs, unexpected problems, tight deadlines, heated situations, or crisis, and you have to respond fast without sacrificing strategy. Many people crumble under pressure because stress hijacks the brain. When the stakes rise, fear, uncertainty, and emotional noise cloud judgment. Your brain's survival instincts kick in, leading to impulsive reactions rather than calculated moves. That's why mastering decision-making under pressure is not just a skill, it's a necessity for anyone who wants to win big. Why pressure breaks most thinkers. When pressure hits, the brain narrows its focus to the immediate threat. Logical thinking shuts down, and emotions take over. You stop seeing the full picture and start reacting to what feels urgent, not what's actually important. In this state, people tend to make rash decisions just to escape discomfort, delay decisions, leading to missed opportunities, overthink and get stuck in analysis paralysis. Strategic thinkers condition themselves to do the opposite. They thrive in pressure-filled situations because they train their minds to stay calm, zoom out, and think clearly when others can't. How to make smart decisions under pressure. Breathe before you act. The fastest way to regain control is through your breath. Deep, slow breathing calms the nervous system and restores clarity. Zoom out for perspective. Don't get trapped by the urgency of the moment. Ask, what are the long-term consequences? What's the bigger picture? Separate emotion from logic. Feel the pressure, but don't let it guide your decision. Pause, detach emotionally, and lean on facts and strategy. Use pre-planning. Great thinkers anticipate pressure moments. They run through what-if scenarios in advance, so they're prepared when stakes are high. Trust your preparation. Pressure exposes weaknesses, but it also rewards preparation. Build your skills, systems, and knowledge daily, so confidence replaces fear when it counts. Decide, then commit. Indecision under pressure is dangerous. Once you've analyzed the facts, make the best decision available, and commit fully. Pressure creates opportunity for leaders. Here's the hidden truth. Pressure is unavoidable, but it's also your greatest opportunity to stand out. While others panic, you stay grounded. While others hesitate, you move decisively. Those who master decision-making under pressure earn trust, influence, and success faster than the rest. In the final chapter, we'll explore how to make strategic thinking not just a skill, but a permanent lifestyle that drives you to win in every area of life. Chapter 10. Think like a winner. Live like a winner. The greatest misconception about success is that it's a one-time achievement, a big win, a lucky break, or a sudden breakthrough. But in reality, success is a reflection of how you think. Consistently, winners don't just succeed occasionally. They build winning into their mindset, their habits, and their lifestyle. Strategic thinking isn't a skill you use once in a while. It's a daily operating system that shapes every decision, action, and outcome in your life. Think about the most successful people you admire. They don't rely on luck. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They've conditioned themselves to think strategically every day, to approach problems with calm logic, to anticipate outcomes, to simplify their lives, and to stay focused on the long game. To live like a winner, you must first think like one. Winners aren't overwhelmed by obstacles, they analyze them. They don't react emotionally, they respond strategically. They don't chase every shiny distraction, they focus relentlessly on what moves them closer to their vision. But here's the truth. Most people never adopt the winner's mindset because they treat strategic thinking like a temporary tool, not a lifestyle. They use it when a crisis hits, or when they're under pressure, but they fall back into reactive, unfocused patterns the rest of the time. That's why their progress is inconsistent. How to make strategic thinking a permanent part of your life. Daily mental rehearsal. Visualize your day like a strategist. Anticipate challenges, plan your responses, and see yourself making calm, calculated decisions. Question everything. Winners constantly ask better questions. What's my advantage? Where's the opportunity? What am I missing? Strategic living is driven by curiosity and clarity. Simplify your environment. Remove distractions, noise, and complexity. Structure your surroundings to support focus, clarity, and decisive action. Develop emotional mastery. Stay calm, composed, and strategic, not just in crisis, but in everyday interactions. Emotional control compounds your influence. Play the long game daily. Every small decision should align with your bigger vision. Winners avoid shortcuts that sabotage long-term success. Reflect and adapt. At the end of each day, review your decisions. What worked? What can improve? Strategic thinkers evolve constantly. Living like a winner doesn't mean life becomes easy. Challenges, competition, and uncertainty will always exist. But when you embed strategic thinking into your daily routine, you stop being reactive. You become proactive. You design your outcomes, control your responses, and build the future you want. Winners succeed because they think ahead, act with clarity, and stay disciplined over time. The habits may seem small: planning, reflection, simplification, but they compound into extraordinary results. The greatest advantage you can give yourself isn't luck or connections. It's the ability to think strategically every single day. Master that mindset, and success is no longer a gamble. It becomes your standard.